What's going on, YouTube? So today was my last day at my full-time job. I finally, I finally have moved on from feeling like I needed to continue employment at not just a full-time rate, but feeling like I need to pour my heart, soul, energy into a company or a set of companies at a full-time rate and an overtime rate, right? You know, a lot of us, including myself, have been in a position to where working 7 to 8 hours a day isn't enough. And, years have gone by and, you know, those 40-hour work weeks, turn into 60-hour work weeks, turn into 70-hour work weeks. There's some nights that I've worked, some days that I've worked 15, 16 hours, and I'm done with that. I'm moving into a space where from now on until my next phase, I'm only working part-time. But before I get back into the grind with having to supply another source of income with work, I am going to use this next couple months to transition. As you guys know, right, I'm currently in Jamaica, but next week, my family and I, we're leaving to be repositioned in the land of Thai, the land of smiles. We're moving to Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm just excited. I cannot tell you how much of a weight it has been on my shoulders, in my heart, and in my mind, knowing that I'm pouring into a company day in and day out. Even though it's an okay wage and it's helped position ourselves, myself and my family, to be able to pivot, it hasn't been enough. It's been depressive and draining, right? And I know you got to do what you got to do, right? And I know that you're not just like in a good spot if you can have a job. It's a blessing that you can not only have a job, but just work one job and it keeps you afloat. It keeps money in your pocket, keeps the lights on, keeps the kids fed, right? Keeps the home running, keeps the dream somewhat alive. But I'm trying to enter more of into a spot where I want, again, that flexibility and peace. What does freedom look like, right? What does having options look like? I just want some of that. I want some of that stage 4, stage 5 financial freedom. And I'm trying to slowly move into that. And so today was the first step, right? Understanding what our runway looks like, understanding what happens if I pivot from having this income, from having this job, right? That's secondary, at least for me, for now, because I just left my job a couple hours ago and I've never felt more free. I've never felt more free. It's been an overwhelming sensation. It's been an overwhelming thought to say, hey, I now can go into the weekend not having to think about the Monday grind, the Monday hustle and bustle, right? The stresses of work, dealing with incompetence of people and processes and bottom line and blah, blah, blah. Like just managing people, managing processes, right? It gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming. And it's, for me, it's a fine line, again, right? I understand the need to do that. I'm thankful I had that type of job than others, but at the same time, that's what keep us stuck. At least I have this type of job. At least I'm making this type of income. At least I could work remote. At least I could, work in an office where I get benefits and They pay for my lunch, and I work in AC, but man, it's just, but what am I doing for me outside of work? What am I doing with or for my family outside of work? And it's been nothing. All that's been in the back burner. All of that's been in the back burner. It's just been work, work, work. Let's get to the next day. Let's get to the next week. Let's get to the next month. I just want more, and I had to make that jump, and I'm excited. I'm ecstatic I did, and it's aligned to where we're trying to move forward, right? With the power of the Most High keeping me and allowing me to manipulate different opportunities. I pray I never have to work full-time again in my life. That is my next phase. Next phase is going to part-time contractual work and fine-tuning other stuff I got going on, right? So I'm excited, but I'm mostly excited for this break. My goal is to spend these next 3 to 4 months visiting Thailand, pivoting from there, right? Just figuring out that next step and enjoying life with my wife and my kids, and not having to be in the hustle and bustle of working a 9 to 5 when I'm really working a 7 to 9. I can't even really work a 9 to 5, right? I don't spend 8 hours a day working. I spend closer to 12 to 13 hours a day. So I'm glad I could get a break for that. Working has aged me. I feel like I've done 10 to 15 years of work in a 3 to 5 year time span. So I could breathe. I could focus on my health. I could focus on just my mental fortitude more. Peace, prosperity, flexibility, adaptability, freedom, options, right? Networking, connecting, cultural diversification. It's just, I'm just ready for it. So I can't wait. Just keep you all updated on what's going on. And I'm ecstatic. I am ecstatic. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you're rocking with the journey. And maneuver, man. Be in that gray area. As always, I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all be easy.
Suddenly my name starts to bubble. I guess my soap mean black been the new gold. Wonder if this bread come with peace. That's a new loaf. We up. That's a new float. They root now. Told them all to bury. This a new gloat. I kept it all a beam like we see gold. I thought that I was air, so I grew this little mustard seed. Counting on this one hand who believed, man, they must have seen. Counting couple zeros, no one pitched in. This was all a dream.